Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission.
I like that kind of posture of expectancy. Last year I wrote a book. It's called The Mind of a Missionary. What global kingdom workers tell us about thriving on mission today. Shameless plug. There you have it, folks.
Yeah.
Available on Amazon now. But you know, there's 4 sections. It kind of looks at the underlying motivations, expectations, risks, and rewards in the mind of a missionary, and how we can learn from their examples, and trying to bridge what you're describing, the gap between out there missions and the great legendary heroes of the past who we can never attain to because we're just ordinary folk.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. And on the expectations part, I talk about outer expectations from others, all these expectations that you have when crossing into different cultures, inner expectations and turmoil. You know, you looking in the man in the mirror and say, I'll never attain to that. But then the third one was about David Eubank. He's the founder of Free Burma Rangers. It's talking about that posture of expectancy. And exactly what you're describing. He moves into these crazy situations in Iraq, Kurdistan, and all these different places, and God comes through for him. The stories are amazing because he postures himself in a place of expectancy, like William Carey, the father of modern missions. Expect great things
From God and attempt great things for God.
Great things for God. Expect great things from God.
Yeah. So I think that's such an important thing, and I just wanted to be in a spot to say, all right, Lord, I don't want to miss the opportunity. I don't want to have a theoretical relationship with God, and I think that's what happens for many people is their relationship with God is theoretical because they've never put themselves out there where He really had to meet a need where they really were.
Wow.
And so they say, God doesn't speak to me. When were you last in a spot where you needed him to speak to you?
Yeah.
God never comes through for me in this kind of way. Did you put yourself out there in a spot? And I have failed plenty in front of a lot of people. You know, some of my attempts for the Lord have like fallen flat.
Just flopped.
Yeah, and I have been in those things, but I have seen God do some awesome stuff too. And my understanding of who God is isn't theoretical.
Yes.
It isn't like hypothetical. What if God could do? You know, I mean, God did these things.
Yes.
You know, and that's the thing. And so for me, I wanted to live with that posture of like, if this is a day that God wants to do something great, I don't want to miss it because I didn't take a shot.
Yeah.
I didn't live with some level of risk. You know, I didn't want to play it too safe on these circumstances. So I have honestly very rarely been in a spot where I said, okay, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to try that. You know, and so that's challenging for me in some ways, but I love that, and the Lord has come through in so many ways, and we have relationships all over the world, and people often say, wow, I really think it's awesome, these relationships and what you're doing, but they don't see that the day-to-day of that is persistent, like challenge and struggle and risk and very little payoff, and a million conversations that never go anywhere, and then one that does.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, it's that faithfulness, like Eugene Peterson.
Yeah,
says,
long obedience in the same direction.
I'm glad you filled in the gaps there. I knew you would. And that's what it's about, right? This long direction, long obedience in the same direction. So tell me you're getting ready for something else.
No, I think that's such a, like I've undergone a bit of a transformation over the last year, right? Like I became a runner. And I never was a runner before. In fact, my wife had given me one of those stickers that said 0.0, I don't run. You know, like the
your bumper sticker or something?
Yeah, and part of that was, like, I always told people I don't run, but the truth of the matter was I couldn't run. I just thought I could and just had never done it. And so that was kind of the lie I told myself. And I wasn't actively telling myself this every day, but I thought if I wanted to go run, I could run. But I just am not going to do that. But what happened was, in January, my son's birthday, he just turned 14, so I bought him an entrance into a Tough Mudder race, a 10-mile obstacle course race.
Okay.
And I just didn't want to embarrass myself with him, okay? Because I did a Tough Mudder race back in 2015, and I trained for it by doing nothing, which was stupid, and I nearly died. So, you know, like not really died, but I've really suffered. And so I thought, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change my life. I need, you know, I'm out of shape. I'm traveling. I'm jet lagged about 1 out of every 4 or 5 days. And I'm tired. People would say, oh man, you look tired. I was like, it's because I'm tired. You have assessed this correctly. Yeah.
Fatigue.
And I just got sick of everyone saying that to me over and over again. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to do this. And it was one of the hardest things. And so I started, I said, I'm going to go and run a mile. But I couldn't run a mile. And so I went out and I walked a lot, and then I jogged a little, and then I walked a lot, and then I jogged a little, and then I started doing it every 3 times a week. And then I started taking this stuff on and saying, like, I have to accept the reality of where I am, and then I have to prepare myself for like painfully slow incremental progress. And in the beginning, my wife and I had this kind of discussion. I said, when do I get to call myself a runner? Because I don't want to insult like real runners.
Yeah.
So I've run a couple of half marathons. I'm training for a full marathon. I'm training for some triathlon stuff.
And all this in 4 years, 3.5 years?
Since January.
Oh, really?
I hadn't run in January. I'm down like 25 pounds since January, which is great. And maybe not this week, the travel.
Okay.
I've eaten a lot of really good food in Asia. But, I've been making that kind of progress.
Yeah.
And it's been an interesting metaphor for me of what you're saying of like this long obedience in the same direction. It's like if you want to become, and not that fitness is whatever, it's just an interesting metaphor. Like you can't do it in a day.
Yes.
You can't even do it if you had the best day. The hardest day, the most grinding, best workout day. You only do it by doing it every day.
Yes.
Day by day by day.
Obviously.
A little bit of the situation. And so, and the hardest thing for me after a little while was just realizing that I had to like limit how much even that I would do so that I had enough in the tank for tomorrow. I was thinking always about the long grind and the long goals and goals that I'm not going to be able to achieve, some of which I'm not going to be able to achieve for the next year or two. And it's going to take me 2 years working really hard to hit one or two of these goals. And there will be people at the finish line of those goals, but there will not be people in the day-to-day.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the circumstance for people. Like if we really are honest about the situation, there's so much about missions that is awesome, but most of it is tired, fatigue, work, grind, relationship building, fundraising, awkward conversations, exposure to illness, all of these kind of things that are just day by day by day that you grind your way through, but where you find daily graces from the Lord, daily opportunities. I found strength today. I finished this thing today because the Lord empowered me today.
Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join His mission. This podcast is powered by Within Reach Global. Subscribe, watch, and listen on YouTube today. Visit missionspulse.com.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought. Also, you might want to check out this video here, and honestly, that one's not bad either. Make sure you subscribe to Missions Pulse by clicking the subscribe button right here, and also click that little bell button so you get notified every single time we post a new video.